On this episode of J9 the Upholster, we make some much needed progress on my Cadillac. We're sanding stuff, we're grinding stuff, we're welding stuff. We're hoping to get this thing ready for paint before June, and it's currently January. We've got some trim coming off that won't be going back on, so we've got a bit of body work to do before this thing can get in primer. So let's get busy. If you're new here, my name's Janine, and this is my 1979 Cadillac Coupe DeVille. This car is a decent driver thanks to my recent 350 swap. My vinyl roof and associated trim pieces were deleted in a previous video. Much like my vinyl top, my side trim here will be taking a hike. Can you believe this thing was living in the fender? It's insane! This is the power antenna. This will also be sleeping with the fishes like my vinyl top and my side trim. My wheel well trim and rocker trim, however, will go back on, so I'm trying to remove these gently. This car is relatively rust-free, but there are a couple of spots, just tiny ones, at the back that do need to be addressed. We'll get to those later. These chrome pieces on my trunk and on my hood will likely be going back on. As always, I bag and tag the hardware. Aw, she's got her winter boots on. We have a minor shop shuffle to do. We need to bring Tim's car in from the main shop into our play shop over on the side there. So my Cadillac comes out and Tim's nice, pretty, clean car rolls in right beside mine so I can make a bunch of dust for it. Tim's car is a 1964 Chevy Impala with custom paint done by himself and a custom grille also done by him, and a one-pump hydraulic setup mounted underneath the hood behind the grille, engineered and installed by himself also. This car is pretty awesome. I love it a lot. These are my turn signal indicator lights, and they will not be going back on. To get to the nuts on the back side of these, this side light has to come out. I do like the idea of these, however, I'm not a fan of the appearance, so they will be deleted. These are the clips that hold this trim on, and they seem to be in pretty good condition. This tool's pretty straightforward. You push it in, you slide it, and then you turn it. And then the trim pops off. I drilled out the 2 rivets that hold this on. Now that I've got most of the trim removed, I can concentrate on these trim nub rivet things, whatever they are. Because the trim is not going back on, I will remove these. Eyes and ears. This truck here is another project of mine. It's a 1969 Fargo 200. It's currently diesel swapped with a 5.9 liter Cummins 12 valve. And I'm using it as a storage locker for my Cadillac interior. This is because we have some welding to do on the roof, and I don't want to burn the place down by catching my interior on fire. Now it's time for some rust removal, and that's where Tim comes in. He's a little bit more smooth and agile with the death wheel than I am, so he can make a more precise cut to get this out instead of me butchering my quarter panel. I'll give these a quick file for a precision patch fit. We'll use a magnet on the back to hold this on while Tim welds it. Tim sticks these patches on like a boss, and he also fills up some extra badge holes that I won't be using a piece of copper on the back side. My turn. I'm not the greatest welder, but I do enjoy the practice when I have the opportunity to do it. Jane and the welder. Tim welded up a lot of the trim holes on the roof, so he'll grind those while I'm over here playing with the welder. My next step is to feather back the paint so we can apply some fiberglass filler. Duraglass, if you will. Here's our fiberglass filler. Once this filler is cured, I can sand it. And once that's all sanded down, I'll be able to start making preparations for some epoxy primer. I have a ton of work to do before the old girl gets some paint, but if you have any color suggestions, drop them in the comments. I will definitely be redoing the interior, so any color is an option right now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. We make some much needed progress with the heater making way too much noise every time I try and talk.